This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Philippines set to host first ever WTA 125 Manila Open in 2026. 4-point line locked in again for PBA Season 50. SBP adds QMB, Kouame, Abarrientos to expand Gilas pool. Pacquiao-Romero fight talks still in the works. In the NBA, Nikola Jovic, locked in with the Miami Heat. And joining us live right here at the BNC studio, PBA's big man himself, Commissioner Willie Marcial. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 2nd of October. Now, here's our roundup. Big news for Philippine tennis. The Philippine Sports Commission and Philippine Tennis Association are in talks to bring the WTA 125 to Manila in 2026, a first for the country. The PSC is coordinating with the Women's Tennis Association for the event, slated January 26 to February 1, 2026. PSC Chairman Patrick Gregorio shares that this tourney is about giving our athletes the chance to take on the world's best, inspire the next generation, and put the Philippines on the global tennis map. WTA rules require at least 3 premium courts for 125-level tourneys, and the Philippines is ready to deliver. But wait, there's more. The Philippines is also hosting the ITFJ 30 tourney from late November to December 7, 2025. Where teens from all over Asia will battle it out for glory. PSC is also planning to open Rizal Memorial Courts to the public and push the Philippine Tennis Center in New Clark City into the spotlight. It's official, the 4-point line is here to stay. PBA Commissioner Willie Marcial confirmed in the league's preseason press conference that the new rule will remain in place for Season 50 and possibly beyond. The rule was first introduced last season, positioned 27 feet away from the rim. It gave teams a chance to tie or take the lead even when trailing by 3 points. Interest in the 4-point line has already spread to other leagues around the world, with several inquiring about its impact. Meralco guard Chris Banquero made history as the first player to drain a 4-pointer in an official game during last season's opener. Marcial revealed new rule adjustments for Season 50. Highlights include referees will now announce live whether a coach's challenge is successful or not. Teams that hit 2 fouls in the last 2 minutes of a quarter will automatically enter penalty. And if officials can review if a shot is a 2, 3, or 4-pointer, but only if done immediately. Other changes include a flagrant 1 call if a player throws a ball at an opponent's head to save it from going out. Air balls can be picked up without a travel. An excessive elbow swing will draw a technical. No extra timeouts and offensive fouls will now count toward team fouls. And as the league enters a new era with Season 50, one thing is certain, the 4-point line is not just a gimmick, it's here to change the game. The Gilas Pilipinas pool just got deeper. The Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas announced that Quentin Millora-Brown, Ange Kouame, and Ronje Abarrientos are the latest additions to the national team training pool. With their inclusion, the Gilas pool now has 16 players, including 7'3" Kai Soto, who is recovering from an ACL injury. Justin Brownlee continues to lead the way after guiding the Philippines to the quarterfinals of the FIBA Asia Cup last August. Gilas finished 7th after falling to eventual champion Australia. Other core members include Junmar Fajardo, CJ Perez, Dwight Ramos, Japet Aguilar, Calvin Oftana, Scotty Thompson, Chris Newsom, Jamie Malonzo, Carl Tamayo, AJ Edu, and Kevin Kiambao. National team head coach Tim Cohn will have more options heading into the FIBA World Cup 2027 Asian qualifiers this November. Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas President Al Panlilio said continuity is key, but adding Kouame provides depth and insurance. He shares that Justin remains the top naturalized player, but having multiple options is a big advantage. Abarrientos, meanwhile, has spent the last year under Cone at Ginebra and is familiar with the system. Gilas returns to action on November 28 against Guam, followed by a home game on December 1. The road to the 2027 World Cup begins now, and with a reinforced pool, Gilas Pilipinas is gearing up for the challenge ahead. The boxing world is buzzing as Manny Pacquiao confirms that his camp is in negotiations with WBA welterweight champ Rolly Romero, but nothing is set in stone just yet. The 8th Division World Champ, who recently ended his 4-year retirement with a draw against WBC welterweight title holder Mario Barrios last July, made a statement during the kickoff press conference for the 50th anniversary of the legendary Thrilla in Manila at the Big Dome. The month-long celebration will cap off on October 29 with a stacked fight card at the Smart Araneta Coliseum, headlined by Melvin Jerusalem defending his WBC minimum weight crown against Siakolwa Kuse of South Africa, with Willie Marcial and Marlon Tapales also seeing action. Pacquiao says he feels blessed to be leading the celebration even if he wasn't born yet during the iconic 1975 bout between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Now the question remains, will Rolly Romero be next for the Pac-Man? Abangan. 22-year-old forward Nikola Jovic has agreed to a 4-year, $62.4 million rookie extension. Jovic, the 27th pick in the 2022 NBA draft, has played in 107 games for the Heat. Last season, he averaged a career-high 10.7 points per game despite being limited to 46 games after suffering a fracture in his right hand last February. Now, he did return for the playoffs, including a 24-point outburst in Game 4 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Coach Eric Spoelstra has seen significant growth in Jovic, crediting his time with the Serbian national team for helping him mature and develop his game. Jovic, who made his debut at just 19 years old, is the second youngest player in Heat franchise history. The Heat are all in on Nikola Jovic, expecting him to take on a bigger role as they chase another deep playoff run. Now, here's your daily dose of sports lingo. Have you ever seen a diver start from a handstand? That's called an armstand in platform diving. It's when the diver balances on their hands at the edge of the platform before launching into the dive. This position requires strength, balance, and precision to execute a clean flight and entry. Remember, mastery of the armstand can turn a good dive into a spectacular one. It's time for our off-court buzzer. At just 31 years old, Jelena Todorovic, the Serbian-Australian basketball mind, has become the very first woman to coach a men's team in Brazil's elite basketball league. She now leads Fortaleza, a squad that finished dead last season. But with her at the helm, a new era begins. Todorovic brings a wealth of experience, having played for Red Star Belgrade and starting her coaching career at just 20 years old. She has worked in Australia and even on the national team level in Serbia, Spain, and Greece, where she coached Giannis Antetokounmpo, a two-time NBA Most Valuable Player. Inspired by Becky Hammon, a trailblazer in the NBA, Todorovic says she doesn't just want to be the first. She wants to be remembered for making her team better and her players stronger. In a country where football reigns supreme, she dreams of igniting a passion for basketball in Fortaleza. And if she can inspire just one girl to follow her path, she considers her mission complete. This is more than just history. This is a game-changing moment for Brazilian basketball. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 2nd of October. When we return, joining us live right here at the BNC studio, PBA's big man himself, Commissioner Willie Marcial. That's up next right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. Asia's first ever professional basketball league, the Philippine Basketball Association, marks its 50th anniversary this year. 5 solid decades that have brought glory and inspiration to our basketball-crazed nation. And as they welcome a new golden era, here to talk about the PBA, past, present, and future, is none other than Commissioner Willie Marcial. magandang gabi po. Maraming salamat. Sa wakas, nakabisita na po kayo dito sa BNC.
Magandang gabi kasi ngayon wala ako inibita.
Maraming salamat kay Zeus Valdez ng Abante. Siyempre, nag-guest na po kayo sa show niya. At tumawid naman po kayo dito sa The Scorecard. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat din.
Sa darating na linggo, big day for Philippine basketball, the golden anniversary ng PBA. At tanong ko, nakatulog na po ba sila?
2 weeks ago, pero ngayon, kung paano nga, lagi kong usap yung mga ibang mga players, pumunta kayo, o sila lang, oo. Sana nga makarating sila sa Sunday sa Araneta.
Ano po ba ang mga activities natin na lined up for that day? Aside from, of course, the Manila Clasico.
Sa opening natin, by 3:30, meron tayong Leo Awards, yung lagi natin ginagawa. Tapos opening tayo by 5:30. Tapos game na tayo ng 7:30. At siguradong nandun kayo.
Grabe, excited na po ako doon kasi nga parang saktong-sakto yung storyline. Golden era, tapos past-present. Tim Cone coaching against LA Tenorio.
Sinadya namin yun. Tinanong sa akin ng presyon eh. Okay. Bakit nyo naisip ang Magnolia Ginebra? Sabi ko, lahat naman ng games basta opening, siguradong pinupuntahan. Ito lang may ibang flavor, may ibang storya. Team Cone at LA Tenorio.
Nagulat po ba kayo nung after nasa finals kasi ang Ginebra, naglaro si LA, meron siya mga ilang laro doon na turning back the clock. Nagulat po ba kayo na biglang nag-announce si LA na magre-retire na siya? But now, merong possibility na baka maging ala Jaworski, player coach?
Mas nagulat ako nung naging playing coach siya. Nag-usap kami na makakalaro ka pa ba? Nung media day nandun siya, sabi ko, saan ka galing? Nag-practice.
Wow.
Nakakalaro ka pa? Kausap ko si Paul Lee. Paul Lee. Sabi ni Paul, pwede pa siya maglaro. Sabi ko, tingnan natin.
Exciting.
Tingnan natin.
Yan ang isa sa mga abangan natin. Itong bagong storyline, LA Tenorio entering a new chapter in his basketball career. The Iron Man. Possibly the playing coach ng Magnolia Chicken Templados Hot Shots. Marami po kayong mga pagbabago. 9 rule changes sa darating na PBA sa 50th season. Ang isa sa napansin ko, yung pag tumira ng jump shot tapos airball, pwedeng i-rebound ulit tapos hindi traveling yon.
Parang talagang attempt ka.
Okay.
Hindi yung sinadya mo, tatakbo ka.
Okay,
Ito, kung talagang nakita ng referee na attempt talaga ng legal.
Yes.
Na makukuha mo ulit yung bola. Dati sa atin, sa tatluhan, double yun. Hindi pwede. Ito, pwede. Live ball yun. Pwede mo shoot ulit, pwede mo ipasa, pwede mo i-dribble. Parang FIBA yata ganun.
Sa FIBA nyo po nakuha yung
nakikita
idea.
nila na tumira.
Okay.
Legit na tira.
Yes,
Pwede mong kuhanin.
Okay, so kailangan legit yung tira, hindi pwedeng gawing diskarte, tapos i-rebound mo. Okay. Last year, before the start of season 49, it was very controversial. May mga positive, may mga negative na komento about the 4-point line. So now, after one full season of having a 4-point line in the PBA, masasabi niyo po ba na it was a success? Or ano po yung thoughts nyo with the...
Hindi natin masabi kasi nung nagkaroon ng, wala naman dating 3-point, di ba? 3-point line. Nung nilagay yung 3-point line, mga after 3 to 4 years, tsaka sumunod yung NBA. Nagsimula yan, alam ko, ABA, American Basketball Association. Yata, ang pagkakalam ko. Eto, sinasabi ko nga sa kanila, hanggang ako commissioner, nandun yung 4-point. Siguro pag hindi na ako commissioner, pwedeng tagal ng susunod na commissioner. Pero tingnan natin, one thing for sure, na-excite ang mga fans pag tumitira ka sa 4. So, sana may sumunod sa atin.
Anong year po ba kayo nag-start as the commissioner of the PBA?
2018.
2018. So, going on 7 years.
Seven
7
8,
years. So, when you started, Com, ano po yung vision nyo with the PBA, how you would transform and improve the league, and what are some of the goals na na-achieve mo during your time as commissioner of the league?
Nung pagka-interview sa akin ng pagkakuha ko, anong plano ko, sabi ko, gusto ko magkaroon ng women's basketball. Two, ang Gilas nun, 1 per team lang. Hindi ka pwedeng kumuha ng 2 o 3. Sinabi ko na sana ma-open kahit ilan pa ang kuhanin na Gilas na players. Tapos yun nga, bala ko na mapapunta sa iba't ibang bansa. Makilala naman ng PBA sa iba't ibang bansa sa buong mundo na dahan-dahan nangyayari. Hindi ko pa nagagawa yung women's basketball. Pero yung Gilas, kahit ilan na, per team. Dati, 1 per team yun. Kung natatandaan mo, Anton. Ewan ko kung buhay ka na nun. Pero yun. Tapos yung pangatlo nga, dahan-dahan yun. May laro tayo sa Bahrain, may laro tayo sa Dubai, tapos baka makalaro tayo sa New York at sa Doha.
So you mentioned yung sa women's, and we also learned na marami rin mga women ballers dito sa Pilipinas. Is that still in the works? Isa pa po yun sa mga plano mo na gusto mong itupad in the future?
Hindi ko tinatanggal yun.
Okay.
Sinabi ko din yun last week. Yun pa rin ang inaangad ko na magkaroon din ng women basketball ang PBA.
Okay. A few weeks back, one of our PBA legends, Jericho Deniera, was my guest on the show, and I asked him to comment on one of the controversial rules na napag-usapan in the PBA, yung 3-year ban sa mga nadadraft tapos nagde-decide na instead of accepting the contract, maglalaro sa ibang liga, local or international. Coach Jerry was talking about na parang sayang naman para sa mga bata na kasi yun yung dream to play in the PBA. But now may mga options at napapaisip sila, sayang kung hindi sila makakabalik. Your thoughts on that, Com?
Sa amin naman, kaya inano namin yung, kunwari, mag-abroad ka, may kontrata ka dito, or aalis ka muna, pupunta ka doon. Bigyan mo kami ng 3 years. Ang sinasabi lang din namin yon para bigyan din naman ng ibang bansa na hindi 1 year lang, 2 years lang, 3 years. Bigyan mo ng 3 taon para makapag-isip din yung bata, yung player. Kung pupunta pa siya doon o hindi. Kasi nakakaano din sa team. Parang player ka, star player ka, or starting 5 ka, magbi-build around sa'yo yung game, yung team. Tapos bigla kang aalas after 2 years, tapos ka babalik. So, yun ang mga logic na napag-usapan namin sa board. Pero yun nga, yung bigyan mo naman ng 3-year contract naman or at least 2 yung mga players na pupunta sa ibang bansa.
So kumbaga, para mas maging decisive lalo yung player sa kanyang desisyon whether to accept the contract and play in the PBA right away or go elsewhere.
At minsan naman, ginagawa din namin, kunwari, uma-appeal naman yung player.
Okay.
Kung pwede mo, ibibigay namin kasi yun ang ibibigay namin sa board. Pag inaprobahan ng board, parang si Muyang. Si Muyang, kakaano lang natin, pinagbigyan ng board na makalaro sa atin ulit.
Larry Muyang. Okay. One of the news also na mainit ngayon sa PBA is the entry of a new team, yung Titan. Kamusta naman yung transition nila into the PBA?
So, tingnan natin, nakausap ko yung owner, si Brian. Excited naman sila. Sana magkaroon nga ng ibang blend. Sana, sabi nila, parang kuya nila itong mga players na to. Sana mapagbigyan sila. Tingnan natin. Alam mo naman, pag bagong team, nahihirapan pa maka-gel. Pero sana makaangat agad sila itong season na to.
Sa ngayon po, we have 12 teams in the PBA and of course this new team, Titan. I was looking at their roster. May mga players like Calvin Abueva na from a different team, Von Pesumal, also from Ginebra before, now sa Titan, nagkaroon ng bagong chance to continue his PBA career. I also had a player who was drafted by rain or shine, kaya lang hindi nakakuha ng kontrata. Nag-guest po siya dito, si Cole Maisek. So, how can the PBA accommodate more players, Com? Kasi syempre, we have a lot of talent na minsan nadadraft, pero hindi nakakakuha ng kontrata. Do you see like growth in the future for the PBA? So, magkaroon pa ng more slots para sa mga players na hindi nadadraft or hindi na nakakapirma?
Madami yan. Sinasabi sa akin nga, makakabuo pa ba daw ng isang buong liga pa yung mga hindi na-draft. Ang pag-asa natin doon na makakuha pa tayo ng mga bagong teams. Madami naman, may mga 2-3 na nagpapahiwatid sa atin. Pero tingnan natin kung paano. Kung papayag ba sila dun sa ating transition, papayag ba sila sa mga kondisyon natin, kung makukuha nila mga requirements namin, bakit hindi? Kailangan talaga, ang dami pa natin mga players. Tama ka dun, Anton.
Com, I'm sure marami ka pang plano to further improve the PBA and to present opportunities para sa lahat ng ating mga players, men and women. And you're also thinking of ways para matulungan ng ating mga kababayan in different parts of the Philippines. Recently, ang Cebu naapektuhan ng earthquake at bagyo. The PBA is helping. Could you tell us a little bit about that, Com?
Yun nga, nalimutan ko sabihin dun sa press ko natin, pero sinabi ko kanina sa Jesus na tutulong ang PBA sa nasalanta ng bagyo sa Masbate at sa mga nalindulan sa Cebu. Tutulong po ang PBA. Sana sa kahit konting tulong ng PBA ay mapasaya natin ng kahit konti o talagang makatulong ang PBA sa kanila.
Ayan. So the PBA always willing to offer a helping hand sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan here in Manila and around the archipelago. Com Willie, thank you so much for everything you're doing for Philippine basketball and all the best sa pagpasok ng PBA 50th season.
Maraming salamat din sa iyo. Sana maimbita mo ulit ako dito.
Yes, maraming salamat. Anytime, Com, and I'll see you at the games, Com. Thank you. Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Com Willie Marcial here on the Scorecard sa Bilyonaryo News Channel. Up next, it's youth versus experience on full display. Ayala's riding the momentum of a breakout season, but Galovic's craft and slice game are built for survival. Only one will step through to face Tatiana Maria. This quarterfinal is about to tilt the balance of power. So better keep your eyes here on the Scorecard and on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. All right, let's go deeper on this quarterfinal because this is not just another match. This is a clash of where you are in your tennis career. On one side, Victoria Golovic, 32 years old, world number 70, a player who's been ranked as high as 35, owns 2 WTA titles and once reached the Wimbledon quarterfinals back in 2021. She's the definition of veteran savvy. She's been here. She's done this. She knows how to drag you into uncomfortable rallies with that wicked slice backhand and across the net. Of course, ating pambato, Alex Ayala, 20 years old, ranked 58, just won her first WTA title in Guadalajara. She's now on her 4th straight quarterfinal. Guadalajara, Sao Paulo, Jingshan, and now Suzhou. That's called consistency. And it's why people around the sport are starting to whisper, wait, is she about to become the breakout story of the season? We'll see. But now, pag-usapan natin ang contrast. That's Alex. Galovic, her opponent, is coming in fresh. 2 matches, straight sets, barely 2 hours on court total. She dusted Fruhvirtova in just 61 minutes. That's a practice set for her. Now, Ayala, she's been living in 3-set city all week. Beat Katarzyna Kawa in 2 hours plus, then fought Minen in a 3-hour, 18-minute marathon that felt like the tennis version of climbing Mount Everest without oxygen. So the X factor here, stamina. If this goes the distance, does Ayala have gas in the tank or Does Galovic's experience turn into the difference maker? The other angle, shot making versus disruption. Ayala wants rhythm. She wants to set up her forehand, dictate with pace, pull Galovic wide. But Galovic, she's basically a rhythm destroyer. She'll slice, she'll moonball, she'll hit angles that don't even look legal. If you let her, she'll drag you into the mud and win ugly. And remember, this is their first career meeting. Woo! Exciting, which means there's no playbook. No, I know her tendencies. Both players are going to have to solve the puzzle in real time in front of the Suzhou crowd. And speaking of that, looming in the semis is Tatiana Maria, the crafty German who got a walkover into the Final Four. So, kung sino man ang mananalo dito, they've got to deal with another veteran slice and dice master waiting in the wings. Victorija Galovic, the veteran strategist, versus Alex Ayala, the rising star, with fire in her game. Experience meets youth. Patience meets power. Buckle up. This is going to be a show. So the bottom line is, if you like tennis with layers, this is your match. A 20-year-old rising star trying to prove she can deliver back-to-back deep runs versus a 32-year-old shot maker who survived every war the tour can throw at her. So again, buckle up because Suzu is about to give us a masterclass. Youth versus experience, power versus craft, future versus past. And yeah, I can't wait to see how this one plays out. So tune in, lock in, and as always, keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From a rising Swedish sports star and 2025 European Athletics Under-20 pole vaulting champion, Alex Roga once said, "As long as you believe in yourself, anything is possible." True that, true that. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.